Drama already? Ooh. Hello, my name is Lacey, and welcome to my recap of a brand new dating show, The Big D. It's about divorce. So 6 divorced couples go to an island. They're already divorced. They're already exes. And they're going to date each other, kind of like the ultimatum. Some want to get back together with their original partner, their ex, and some want to move past their ex and date other people for real. The show is hosted by Jordan and JoJo, and I think they're from The Bachelor. I have no idea who they are. But the contestants seem to know who they are, and I think somebody said Bachelor or Bachelorette. The idea is that the exes are watching each other date for the first time after their divorce. Our couples are Ariel and Blair. They've been divorced 9 months. They got married after 2 months only, and they've been together for quite some time. Blair didn't like that Ariel was getting into the influencer life and that she moved to LA. He wanted a more non-LA vibe. And so they ended things, and it seems like she is not over him, but he wants to move on. We have Allie and Mims. They've been divorced for 6 months, and they got married in 2014 because she was pregnant. Apparently, there was some cheating going on there. We have Jillian and David. They've been divorced for 7 months. They were high school sweethearts, but COVID is what kind of pushed their issues into the spotlight. So they were living together, they couldn't get away, and so he left, and because they both lost their jobs, and so financial hardships, and so he moved out, and she was like, okay, you moved out, we're done. And he kind of wants to rekindle and see how things are going, and she says that she's dead inside. 2 very different headspaces. Alexis and Devin. They've been divorced for 2 years, which is interesting because the other ones have just been divorced a couple months. So they've had more time to date other people and have that break. So this one's interesting. They had a very toxic marriage, mostly because, what's her name? Alexis's mom didn't like Devin, and they were very, very volatile toward each other. And they fought, and the mom meddled in everything. That's hard when your parents and partner don't like each other. That's really, really hard. Been there. And Alexis apparently got mad and broke dishes. Fiery, toxic relationship. We have Casey and Brooks. They've been divorced for 6 months. He is 100% into her and wants her back. She wants him 100% to move on. She's like, so much so, like, please take him, get him away from me. I want him to move on, date other people. And she said that sex toward the end was just a chore for them, and that it was like, why are we even doing this? Our last couple is Didi and Thakor. Thakor. They've been divorced for 10 months, and he apparently treated her very badly during the relationship. He lied, cheated, and she found a box of condoms, and that was the last straw, and she divorced him. Thakor wants to get her back, and she wants to move on. So this experience is going to be taking place over 10 weeks, and they're going to go on challenges, or they're going to go on dates. They're going to have what they call them? They're going to have exercises in order to help each other move on and have better relationships with the next person. So we're going to see what happens. We also find out that the couples have to stay not in the same bed, but in twin beds next to their ex. So they're in the same room. They're bunking, sort of, with their exes. The divorcees all get to mingle in a little mixer at the home. And Casey is telling all the girls, like, please take Brooks, like pimping him out hard. Like, she's like, oh yeah, do it, please take him away from me. Casey is also into Jillian's ex, David. Like, she's putting it on thick. She's hitting on him hard. Didi and Thakor talk, and she's open to finding love here. And he's butthurt about being on the show. So it's like, why did you come? He's mad that she's going to be exploring, and he has to sit there and watch her explore. He's like, you're doing what I did. He's a hypocrite. Thakor's a hypocrite, and I don't like him, and he's the villain right now. Eyes on you. The next day, Dr. Jada, who has been a doctor for 12 years, says they're going to do an exercise called Flex Your Ex. So the women have to introduce their men, ta-da, to the rest of the group. Jillian says that David is sensitive but stubborn. He dresses well 90% of the time. He's a good dancer and he will wine and dine you. Ariel says that Blair has the body of a god and the sex will be so good it will be worth the trauma. Healthy? Casey says Brooks is all bark and no bite. And he's got the bills paid right. And then he strips down to a Speedo and he's got mega dad bod. But he's loving it and he's dancing around in his Speedo and having a good time. Alexis says that Devin has a bad temper, but he will always get the bills paid. Allie says Mim's tongue will get on your nerves. And when he's drinking, his tongue will get on your nerves. And I don't know if that's an oral joke or if that's just like a he's even worse when he's drinking joke. I don't know. That could be either really good or really bad. And Dee Dee's the last one to come up. And she actually explains that she had a hard time and she couldn't do the exercise because she was struggling because she still hasn't dealt with all of the trauma and hurt that Thakor has caused her. And so they thank her for coming up and giving it a shot and even like saying it. And then she goes and sits down. Dr. Jada picks the two winners, and the winners are Jillian and Casey, because they presented their men, their exes, in a way that was more accepting and, you know, go forth and prosper vibe, as opposed to kind of more bitter, like the other women. So they win, and they get to pick their dates. And Casey gets to pick first, and she picks, what's funny is that Casey's ex, Brooks, thinks that she's gonna pick him. I'm not sure why. They're exes for a reason. So Casey gets to pick first, and she picks Jillian's ex, David, who she was hitting on back at the house. Jillian's turn to pick, and Jillian was like, I was gonna pick David. So Jillian was gonna pick her ex instead of somebody new. But Casey got him first. Drama already? Ooh. So instead of picking her ex, Jillian picks Devin, and Devin says, yes, I will absolutely go on a date with you. And they get to go jet skiing. How fun is that? I want to go jet skiing. I just want to go on one of these shows just to go on the dates. I don't want to meet all these people. I don't care. I have mine. I don't want these people. I want to go on the dates. I want to go on the jet ski. I want to go on the hot air balloon. I want to go. While the women are on their dates, Brooks, Casey's ex, is butthurt and pouting to everybody else that she should have picked him and all this stuff. And they're just like, why? You guys are here to move on. Like, she doesn't want to date you anymore. She divorced you for a reason. He's a pouty baby. On their dates, Casey and David are having a good time and they're flirting. On the other side, though, Jillian and Devin are having a date. And Jillian's just talking about her ex and how she's like, oh, I wanted to pick him, but he's over there dating somebody else. And this is weird. And thank you, Devin, for being cool with this. And he's just like, okay, jet skiing was fun. Back at the house, the Thakor is lying to all of the women about wanting to see Dee Dee move on and see her happy. Meanwhile, he's telling the confessional, the producers, that he is legitimately lying. He's like, I'm telling them what they want to hear. I'm going to get her back, and that is that. Big, big villain vibes, Thakor. I don't like you. I don't like you, and I don't like what you're doing to Dee Dee. Don't like it. So the girls get back from their date, and it is time for the elimination. So how this works is that the power is going to switch between the men and the women, and so each week the women get to pick somebody who gets booted, and then the guys get to pick who gets booted, and then the girls get to pick who gets booted, etc. So this week it's the girls' turn, and they get to pick who gets booted. So the guys have to leave, and they all discuss amongst themselves with the hosts. And the two people who they brought up who they're talking about kicking off is Brooks, for being a pouty little baby about Casey not picking him. And the other one is Thakor, because the women see straight through his bullshit. He's an F-boy, and they don't believe that he is here for the right reasons. Both Dee Dee and Casey are kind of sad because it's like it's their ex and they have, you know, their stuff there. good or bad, to work through in some sort of way. Then the guys come back, the decision has been made, and the person ousted this week is Brooks. Brooks is out. Pouty little baby, get gone. Go get a pacifier at home somewhere, because no, he was not okay. Like, Casey says that she actually feels angrier with Brooks around her. So she sees him out, they say goodbye, and Casey tells Brooks that she would love to go to therapy with him outside of this experience, maybe to work through their past traumas and emotional damage that they've done to each other through their relationship. And she is ready to move on with somebody else and date somebody else and get Brooks the hell out of there. Because she can't move on with him pining after her and putting a fight every time she goes on a date with somebody else. That's the whole point of the experience. So, yeah. And that, dear viewers, is the big D. Big D. Big D. Big D. Big D. Big. What did you think of the big D, and what did you think of the couples? Did you think they made the right choice for the elimination? Tell me your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time for more D.